Hello, everybody. It's me, Kismet. You're like, whoa, Kismet, wait, you're early, bro. Well, I'm sitting around and I am literally fascinated with this game called Satisfactory. Now, there's few things in life that will grab your imagination. Now, I'm a creative person. I've been a graphic designer and an artist for a very long time. And I always work backwards from the end result. If I know what the end result is and how to produce that end result, then I work backwards. And I can tell you, it's like lightning striking my brain. And I have rebuilt this factory hundreds and hundreds of times. And you're like, well, Kismet, you've been playing Satisfactory off stream? No, in my mind, I have been building these factories all day long. I'm telling you, that's a fantastic game. That's a game that really captures your imagination, captures the spirit of what you love best about games. And I can tell you, man, I've built this factory 1,000 different ways in my head, and I can see and fully visualize stuff in my head, in color, down to extreme details. And that's actually served me very well as an artist for many, many years, because I can see all of the details of the process, and I always start at the end and work the way backward. Now, we've learned a lot of game mechanics as we've tried out several different builds. We've hit some bottlenecks along the way, but I don't think we've really got super deep into it. And we're going to explore Kismet's rule number 1 today, and I'm going to tell you what that is here in just a moment. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I was sitting around and I couldn't sleep, and I was like, man, I'm building factories in my head. And I said, I could be building factories on the stream right now. Why am I sitting here building them in my head? I'm going to get up and I'm going to start streaming. Let's go. And that's what you do, everybody. That's what you do. Now, I could have built them offline, but what's the fun in that? So you guys can see them happen. And, of course, all the things we've already learned will apply when we're building our stuff, which is pretty awesome. But let me say hello to all the epic people here in the chat. Thank you so much to Wrath the Wall stepping in, helping me out tonight, even though I did start early. So show her lots of love in the chat, everybody. Thanks, Mr. Nanyu and Buddy Run also hanging out in the chat. I think I surprised everybody. It was like, Kismet, wait, first, you're not supposed to stream on Friday because normally you're off on Friday. But, of course, I'm streaming every single day. You know that I have streamed for 33 days in a row so far on behalf of these epic people right here, my mods. We're getting there. We're almost halfway there. We're getting close, though. Couple months away. We got to get those donations in. We got to do it. So if you got $1, drop it right over there. You got $10. Bam, you're going to get some epic Kismet loot as well. Some loot drops going out to you guys as well from TwitchCon. So if you do want to help out, go with that. Johnny Pickle, what's up? Says, what's up, y'all? Well, we're going to play some games today. We're going to play some games. Now, this is another stream override. So I'm overriding Fallout. I'm overriding Astroneer. And we're going to play some Satisfactory. Now, if you have not discovered this game, this is my type of game. Logistics, math, deep understanding of game mechanics. Oh, I love that kind of stuff. You got me, Satisfactory. You got me with that one. And thank you so much to them also, by the way, for supplying me an early access code to Satisfactory. You have won my hearts. My heart over on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. That's enough yapping. Let's start playing some games. Let's go. I'm going to build some factories. Let's do it. All right, everybody. Now, here we are in the game in Satisfactory. Now, here's Kismet's rule number 1. You ready? And you're like, well, Kismet, are you going to continue? Let me get my mouse. Are you going to continue your game? No. And you're like, Kismet, you're like really high up there and you got coal plants and you got all that stuff. You can just take it down and rebuild it. Nah. Kismet's rule number 1 is we can always do better next time. New game. Let's go, everybody. New game. We can always do better. We're going to call this one Do Better. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and self-actualize, and let's get into it, everybody. Let's go. All right, let's get those game sounds on. Here we go. Always can do better. I'm telling you, we can do better right here. What about Facturo? I've never played that one, but it is on my list to play, so don't worry. I'll get around to it. We'll get around to it.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis.
This is totally me in a second. Overburden.
Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please
Here we
remain
go.
seated during full procedure.
I'm so excited. Hold on, dude.
Atmospheric entry in 5.
We're going in.
3, 2.
We're going in. This is a great opening, man. Fantastic opening to this game as well. Now, again, this is early access. They're adding stuff to it as we go. I think the highest tier we got to was tier 3 or tier 4. I can't remember. Where we got coal factories. But, man, I have been building and rebuilding this again and again and again in my head. I'm like, I'm going to tear it down and do it the other way and do it this way and run the line, do them sideways, do them forwards, do them multiple levels, doing all that. I have built it hundreds of times now in my mind. And that's the fun part. But let's see if we can do better. We can always do better. Iterate on your designs. Try to do better, both in-game and in real life as well. Learn from your mistakes.
Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
I'm on it. It's like a little happy face on there. I never noticed that. A little happy face on that button. Looks like. Oh, man. Fantastic opening. All right. So we're going to go over here and...
Welcome to Planet Massage 2, ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system.
Now, we've already heard this before, but we're going to run through it again just to do it.
Also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of your sector to survive planetfall. Congratulations. Note: objective-based introduction initialized. Welcome to onboarding.
All right.
First objective: please dismantle the drop pod. The resulting materials will be repurposed to construct a habitat and utility base, from now on referred to as the hub.
What's up, Steel Bacon?
Fixit Incorporated.
Mr. Macklin coming in with a retweet. The Gaming Skulls. Hey,
We
Kismet, what's up? Early launch here. All right. So really, the first thing we need to do is dismantle the thing. Uh-oh. Let's go, mousey mouse. There we go. Should have had a battery indicator on this mouse. All right. Hold down F and disassemble. All right. That's the first thing. Now we got our hub.
Second objective: please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xeno Zapper equipped before leaving the drop zone. Note: according to Fixit regulations, every pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats.
Tab, and we're going to go ahead and make sure. I think my mouse is... I forgot to put my mouse on its charging thing. All right, hold on. Let's turn this off. And see, the cool thing about this mouse is, you know, it's wireless, which is awesome. But in case you forget, you can also plug it in, too. So, an awesome Razer Naga Epic Chroma. A very long name, but still cool. See? Just in case your wireless mouse dies, you can just plug it in. Pretty awesome. All right, there we go.
Third objective: please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
I agree. All right, press C. Boom. 260. 261. 260. 261. I think we keep going south. I feel like south is our prime thing, because we already kind of know a little bit over here. We can also grab a little bit of...
This consumable possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required to establish object scanner identification.
And while we're starting here, of course, we know we're going to need some leaves.
This consumable possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required to establish object scanner identification.
You know we're going to need all these leaves and whatnot.
Initial scans reveal coloring properties in the flower petals. Further analysis required.
Oh, really? Cool. All right, so we're learning all sorts of stuff. So I feel like the first thing to do is while you're walking to the iron is to grab a bunch of leaves and random stuff as you're going. And if I see stuff around, I'm just going to grab it because this is going to be useful very early game. And we'll come back for all this other stuff. So here's our number one ore that we typically find, which is iron. And I like to get up here on the top because Mr. Dude over there, he's going to want to say hello. Here he comes. Come on over here. Oh, yeah. Another one over there, too. You're coming to me or I'm coming to you. One or the other. Look at this. Jukes! Jukes you, bro. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Yeah, go fall off the side. So now, here's the thing about mobs. They always come back. So look out. I don't trust him. I'm going after him. You go, you little sneaky mob. Feel like he's gonna come out of nowhere and get us. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Let's get all these plants while we're at it. Where are you hiding in there? Did you fall off? I hear you somewhere. There you are. Tactical position! Yeah! Kismet with the win. Notice how I got the
remains of this creature
the higher tactical position because he had to come around. You gotta keep that in mind when you're playing games. Those battle tactics, everybody. Let's get rid of all these leaves here. It's gonna get us started real nice. Okay, now I had this idea originally when I started here. Now we've got an iron node there and an iron node here. Now we've started here several times. And then over there is a concrete node, and way off in the distance is a copper node. We already know that. We've been here before. Now, one of the things that I thought is that what I wanted to do is take all the raw resources from here and then run it to wherever my central base is. But I'm actually, by building it hundreds of times in my head, I actually feel like that actually is not a good idea. I feel like that actually you want to put all of your stuff in line in the very beginning so that you have it as close as you can to your nodes. You can very easily feed it in there and then have the final resource end up where you're at or wherever your hub is at. So I feel like that's going to be our kind of purpose or our first goal here. Now we can go ahead and pick this up by holding down E. Now we might also notice that it says pure right there. That means this piece on the top is pure.
Note: to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed.
All right.
Caution: ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
All right, so we're going to build that literally right next to our iron here. And we're going to run up here now that we've collected a little bit of ore.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal.
There we go.
Fifth objective: Hub Upgrade, Storage and Power.
We're on
Note: the craft bench and hub terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
This is true. All right, so we need to make some iron rods to upgrade our hub here. And that's not so hard to do. We can literally just go in, take the iron ingots that we did, convert them manually. Now, of course, we want to automate all this later, but at the very beginning here, we want to just go ahead and get that upgrade going. Super easy. Instead of going around and doing all of the things like I did before, by the way, you can just double-click that. I was shift-clicking and dragging and doing all that stuff. Just double-click it, goes right in there. There's our first upgrade. Now, what I did before was I was going around and I was doing all of the stuff at the very beginning, which I feel like you only need to do one iron node to start.
You have unlocked Hub Feature Biomass Generator. Hub Feature Personal Storage. Scanner Feature Copper.
Yeah,
New
all this
equipment,
stuff.
buildings, and blueprints, which can be found in the workshop when built, build menu, and craft bench respectively.
All right, awesome.
Sixth objective, hub upgrade, construction. Note, connect buildings to a generator for power.
I'm on it.
Buildings such as the smelter require a blueprint to be set.
Okay.
Advice, automate the smelting process and use portable miners for optimal results.
I like that idea too. Good idea. All right, so we need some iron plates, we need some iron rods, and we need some wire. All right, so to upgrade to our next level, we got some personal storage here. Don't need it right now. I just got a bunch of stuff on me right now. And then over here, of course, we've got the ability now to do copper stuff instead of just iron. So we're off and running. Now, again, one of the things that I thought would be great early on would be to, run all of these resources into a central area and then work from there. But I'm going to try a different technique this time. And we're going to go ahead and just roll over these so that they no longer say new over them. And we want to go ahead and start. I feel like the best thing to do is start with a craft workbench out here, if you can. But right now we don't have enough plates to do that. And then also if we go here to equipment workshop, we try to put that down. We also don't have enough plates or rods. So we need to make that using our hub here first. And this workbench right here. I always find it's more useful to just convert all the iron ingots that you start with, and then that'll allow you to convert all your other stuff. There we go, and we'll create some iron plates. Get about 10 of those, and then we'll create some more iron rods. There we go, we're close enough. Close enough. And of course, the first thing we want to do is get going on our little miner guys. So we're going to start with the equipment workshop next. And I kind of feel like that's the next most efficient thing you want to do. All right, now we need iron plates, we need wires, and we need cables to get that going. We've already got the iron plates, but we need some copper. And now we have the ability, because we've unlocked copper, to hold down C, choose copper, bam, going to send it out. And I happen to know it's right over that way, which is where it was before. We're going to try to jukes this guy over here. Boom! Jukey, jukey, jukes! Come back here. Trying to lead me down the thing. You don't mess with Kismet, man. I'm all up in your zone, bro. Now, everywhere you run, you should be hitting E. Get all these leaves while you're running along. I feel like that's the most efficient thing. You're running this way anyway to get the copper. And later on, we'll make this a lot easier and automate all of this and get to coal eventually, which will open up kind of unlimited power. But for right now, you're running around. You're running past it anyway. Yeah, a lot of little E action. Getting that E action going on. All right, now another dude over here. Up! Oh, went over the rock there. Didn't mean to go over the rock. Whoa! He's out of there. Congratulations, you got a hit on me. Congratulations, bro. All right, now we're going to go ahead and grab some copper. We will rock you. You're on early tonight. Satisfactory must really grabbed you. Yeah, man, I have rebuilt this base hundreds of times in my mind. I have not played offline, but I'm sitting here and I'm like trying to sleep and I can't sleep and I'm thinking, instead of building these factories in my mind, I could be really building these factories here on stream. And I'm like, let's just start early. Let's go. So here I am a bit early. Actually, let me move myself up just a little bit here. Where's my camera? Right here. There we go. So you guys can see my health bar down there as well. There you go. All right, so easy mode so far. And let's go ahead and run up here. And let's go ahead and make some copper. Now, the low-end materials, this goes fairly fast, right? You just hold it down, it converts it pretty fast. You can get it. I totally get you, Kismet. Yeah, anything that just kind of grabs my imagination, which I was saying at the top of the stream, that makes me activate my creativity. right? You got me. That's it. You got me. And I have built this over and over and over. I've torn it down in my head and then built it again. And that's why we're starting all over again. Now, I could go to my other base there, and I could tear everything down for the next half hour or whatever. But I don't feel like that's what we want to do. We want to try a different whole idea of starting the game, right? So as we start the game, we're going to go ahead and do basically some different mentality of starting, because we understand a little bit more of the mechanics. Now, do I understand everything? Absolutely not. That's part of the fun, is the adventure and exploring and trying different things. And, you know, one person's base may look completely different than someone else's base, but it's the thing that they like, right? It also adds an element of creativity, the way you want it to be. Now, everybody could produce the same thing and produce the same amount, but there's a kind of a design ethic or a design aesthetic to what you're building, you know, making it look pretty. And then there's the functional making it. Now, I'm always functional first, functional before form, in this case, which is reverse of the Bauhaus, which is form before function. But in this case, it's function between form, because we need the resources first. Resources are always first. Looking good is a later thing, right? And what we did, of course, we collected that copper. The ones on top are pure. You need to clear those so that later on you can do something, which we'll get into later. But we want to go ahead and make some wire and make some cable, which we did. Now, I find you get a lot of copper. It's not like you need 15 copper nodes. You get a crazy ton of copper, and also it just feeds tons of copper. So copper is not going to be as big an issue as concrete, which is the next thing we're going to work on, which is right over there. We'll get to that in a minute. But right now we want to go ahead and just go right over here and build some portable miners. Now, I feel like this time I want to build actually more than one to try to make this go faster, right? It must go faster. What you can do is you can make these little guys and you drop them down over here. Just like a bam, right? So now he's off and running, and he's going to do that for you. That's why they call it Satisfactory. So you're making a factory. You're automating everything, so it does it for you. Which is super cool. I love that mechanic. Now, last time when we were building through, we got up to where we were doing coal mines, and I think we were at tier 4 or wherever, and we got a bottleneck of being able to make those iron plates. So I'm going to try to figure out the deeper mechanics of the math of how it works, right? Making our stuff very efficient. So if it's coming in at 30, how do I make it where it goes in splits and goes in, and it's always efficient running all the time? And we'll get into that in a second. Now, this is going to go ahead and do some iron ore for me automatically. And as I get that iron ore, I can go ahead and go over here to my hub. And eventually, I want to eliminate this workbench here, where I don't have to run up to this workbench over and over again, because that does get very old very, very quickly. Because you have to kind of navigate around it to get to the actual workbench. And eventually, you don't need it, because you can just literally just go right over here and build yourself a craft bench. But we need a little bit more pipes. So we need a little bit more ore. Right over here. Whoop, whoop. Easy mode. Easy. All right. And more ignites. There we go. And I feel like just working with this one thing, you know, you got plenty of copper. Forget about copper right now. Working with this one node is the way to get started in here, right? And then once you get that going, we'll go ahead and build our crafting bench so we don't have to keep running up there every time. Just right out here, nice and easy. We can tear everything down and we get 100% of the resources back as we go through. So really, anything you build, know that you can just take it right back up again and get all your resources back, which I absolutely love about this game. I think that's the thing that probably won me over the most. Yes, I totally restarted the game. And that's Kismet's rule number 1. We can always do better next time. So I start over again. It's okay. It's okay to start over again, because I feel like I could spend 30 minutes tearing that down, or I could spend 30 minutes really understanding the deep game mechanics. And a lot of times when I play games, I'll play like partial games. I'll play it, understand the mechanics, play a little bit more, understand a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And that's my favorite part, is basically the discovery part. And as I discover more and more, I realize that when I can see the end result, right, the space elevator, that I can then backward engineer that, okay, I want to start back here and I want to do this so that it leads me right to that, right? That's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm starting here, and let's have a really fantastic start and go from there. All right, let's go ahead and make another portable miner here. Bam. All right. And again, instead of making multiple of these and running them all over town, why not just put multiple of them on the same one? Right? I don't know. We'll find out. Does it work? I would think so. There's 40 there. Right? So instead of running way over to that one every single time, the one's right there, why not just put multiple on this one? There it goes. It's working. All right. I had that thought. See, and those are the moments I love to discover. That kind of stuff. Is that possible? Now I've got more iron. Now I can just run right over here. Convert more iron. Wow, I got 47 now. Convert more iron. And we can go ahead. Make more rods. I feel like we're starting off very, very efficiently. Oh, we need to make plates too. Plates. There we go. Man, just literally just running from one to the other, which is awesome. All right, let's try another one. Let's see how many of these we can do. I feel like about 3 is about enough because we're going to automate this here in a second. So we'll say we'll put them like right there. Put them all kind of in a circle. So now we're really producing. Whoa, okay. Now we're really producing a lot. Yep, that one's producing that one. And we're like 3 times more efficient than we were at the beginning of the last game. Yep, that's working too. Okay, so they do work. You can't have multiple on the same node. Confirmed. Kismet. Now, I'm sure other people figured that out before, but I just thought of it the other day, which is pretty good. Or yesterday. Or today, I guess. It is from yesterday, today, and then into where we are now. All right, so now we got tons of iron. And now we need to think about our upgrades over here. Let's see. What do we need for our next upgrades? Okay, we need some more plates. We need some more wire. We can do all of those things. So let's go ahead again with the ignits. We'll get those converted. Again, we're in no hurry. We're in no rush. Part of the enjoyable part of games is the discovery moment, right? Is to try something new and say, you know what? I'm just starting over. Let's try some different stuff and see what happens. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Again, this is what I love to do. I hope you enjoy it as much. If you enjoy that type of thing, put a 1 in the chat. I always like to get feedback from you all right in here. So there we go. Right at the very beginning, we're ready to go to our next level right here. Now, we could have done it earlier, by the way, but I wanted to go ahead and test out that thing over there. See if that works. All right. Upgrade number 2 unlocked. Now we're going to get all of this stuff, including constructor, some power poles, some biomass. Concrete.
You have unlocked Scanner Stone. New buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench respectively.
All right.
7th objective. Hub upgrade, conveyor belts.
I'm on it.
Note. Use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results. Note. Constructors are capable of constructing copious parts, of which only one type at a time.
Yep. We're going to get right on that. Okay, now the other thing we unlocked is concrete. Now, I feel like concrete is probably one of the most vital things, other than starting with iron. Obviously, you got to start with iron and a little bit of copper. Oh, and we got this thing in here, too. Our power thing. We'll get into that in a minute. And we've got these going. Look at that. All 3 of those going now. It's going to give us a boom. But I feel like concrete very early on allows you to start to organize your stuff. So let's get over here. Now, let's make sure that we've got our little zapper at the ready. I don't know why that keeps taking that off my hands for some reason. We also got a flashlight. So let's go over here and look for animals. I always feel like jumping up on the thing is probably the safest thing to do. Any animals? No? All right. And then again, now notice it says pure there. I've kind of noticed that, and someone said that in my chat too, that there's different levels of mines that we're going to try to explore today as well. So we're going to try to get it, again, into those deep. We got lots of 1s in the chat. There you go. And this one says pure as well. Now, I noticed some of the other ones, they did say that based on the node was how much ore you get from that particular node. Now, we'll explore all of that later on and whatnot. For right now, I just happened to notice that that said pure on it. And we're going to try to notice as many deep details in this playthrough that we kind of overlooked in previous playthroughs. And that's why I like to start over. Holy mackerel, I'm getting lots of limestone there. There we go. Now, this one right here, notice this one says impure. Right? So that one says impure. And I feel like there's multiple levels, which they said, don't tell me. I like to, you know, learn that stuff along the way. Do appreciate it, though. Do appreciate all of you who do try to help me out. All right, so we get that. We got another iron node over there. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we just want to go ahead and make some concrete. Now, we can also go through and make some other stuff, but we're just going to go ahead and fire out some concrete here. I find concrete very, very handy. We'll just go ahead and convert that like so. All right. Now, another thing we want to do is probably start our concrete miners over there. And we've got enough for one miner here, so let's get that going. Again, we're just hurting for plates here, right? But meanwhile, back at the ranch, this stuff's been cranking out like nobody's business over here. 3 times the amount. Oh, look, I can't even pick it up. It's so much. I can't even pick it up. All right. Now, this is the point at which we've become overburdened. So I'm going to go ahead and store everything. I'm going to go ahead and sort it all and say, okay, what do I need? I need a little bit of copper, some concrete. I got some limestone there, but I don't really need that. Don't need my leaves right now. Maybe some iron ore there. Wood, don't need that right now. I need this. And all this other stuff here, it can just kind of hang out in your bank until you need that. When we need power and all that other stuff, we'll come back to that. So we're going to go right over here. And we're going to go ahead and convert this massive amount of ore. Oh, well, let's get the rest of this ore here. Now, one of the problems is this will stop. Oh, there's something up there, too. This will stop when it hits 100. So make sure you go over here and kind of keep this cleared out. And I feel like that's a really fantastic start. Look at that, 343 at the very beginning. All right, now we're cranking. Now we're cranking. Wow, that was a good idea. That was a good idea in my brain. Joe Visitor Kismet, I want to remind you that you're awesome, you know, in case you forgot. Well, thank you, Joe Visitor. I do appreciate those kind words. I do appreciate it big time. Dude, love the channel. I'm new, but look forward to your stream every night. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Johnny Pickle. Appreciate you being here. You know what? I do appreciate the kind words you guys saying, but you guys are really the heroes behind the stream, just so you know. Along with my mods as well. You come in, you hang out on my channel no matter what game I'm playing. You're like, you're not in the channel. You say, Kismet, you're not playing Fallout, or you're not playing Astroneer, or you're not playing whatever. You come in, you hang out with a lot of epic people on the channel. And that's what I want my channel to be about, right? More about community and hanging out and just the love of games than any specific game. But I do love me some Fallout, I'm not going to lie. I do love me some Fallout as well. But when something captures my imagination, I've got to do it, right? It's like being an artist, right? There's sometimes you're an artist, you're a painter, or you're a graphic designer, or you're a musician, or whatever. You do it because you must. It's not because you choose to. It's because something drives you to do it. And you need to find something in your life like that you must do it, right? Like when I was a graphic designer, I felt compelled to do it, just automatically. Right? Without having any external thing pushing me to be that thing. That desire, that built-in drive to be that thing. And that's what's driving me right now in this game. That drive to build an epic factory that's super efficient, that we understand the mechanics, and we can make it work, and all of that. And, of course, later we'll get into all the bigger stuff and have that. So we're going to go for about 2 hours per segment here, mods. So remind me every 2 hours we're going to cut this up. It's kind of my starter guide that I've learned so far here in Satisfactory. So yeah, I feel like just convert it all. Now the funny thing is, by the time I'm done converting this, it's going to have 300 more over there that I'm going to be able to collect some more. So I feel like we're just going to go heavy in. Just take a moment to make just a crazy ton of this at the beginning of the game, and I feel like that's going to help us in the long run. Instead of us stopping every few minutes to do this, we're just going to go ahead and get crazy up in here. Make a lot of these plates. There we go. I feel like we're going to make about 100 plates. There we go. That's a good start. And then I'll make a bunch of iron rods here. And look, we can also make screws now. Notice it's added the screws and reinforced iron plate. Reinforced iron plate is where we hit our bottleneck last time. And we want to understand, you know, the speed at which stuff's coming into our stuff and the speed in which it's going out. And try to balance those so that they're perfectly balanced. So it's coming in just enough and going out. Now, another thing I was thinking about when I was rebuilding my base over and over again in my mind. And again, I got thousands of hours worth of playtime just thinking of it in my head. Is the fact that I was bringing the resource off of here into the container. And I thought, you know what, while might be a good idea, because if you have a backlog or whatever, you'll have, you know, that raw resource to feed it in there. But what happened is we kept getting overwhelmed with all this extra resource. We got extra iron and extra copper and all this extra stuff that we, of course, we had to manually do, or we put in a side one and all of that. So I kind of feel like that's not a good idea. I feel like it's better to, instead of micromanaging all that extra stuff that you'll get that you can't process fast enough, is to make sure that it is just very, very efficient. And then the end product is the thing that you want to go into storage. And you want to keep it very clustered together so there isn't that much distance between your objects, so that they very efficiently go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing without any kind of conveyor lag or anything like that. Very, very much built out many, many times in my head. And we're going to build it here in just a moment. All right, so we made tons of all of that stuff. So we're looking sexy now. We've got one here, and we want to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and make a couple more of these here. Oh, I didn't make any more wire is what I need to make too. Right there. And let's go ahead and make wire over here. There we go. Like so. Oh, I thought I made wire. What did I make? I made wire, but I meant cable. Cable's what I needed. There we go. Let's just make one more. Bam. All right, so again, we're going to go very heavy into concrete as well. I feel like the second you get to kind of the next stage, you need a lot of concrete. So we're just going to go hardcore. We've got our constructor there as well. Hardcore into doing 3 of these at the beginning, because I don't think, because, you know, you collect one of them. There we go. And again, notice it says impure. I feel like you really want to just crank a ton of these down. And the thing about these is that you're going to use them later. Was what I was thinking about them. Was that you're going to use them later anyway to make the other stuff that goes here. Again, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. So I'm sure most of you saw me do it the other day. Get the idea. See? That feels more efficient to me. Instead of just coming back and I have to wait for it to be done. I'm going to have so much overwhelming amount of resources that I don't have to wait at all. I'll just keep converting. So we'll get the concrete going, and then we'll just walk away and let that run. Now, meanwhile, while we're doing all of that stuff, I can guarantee you that this stuff is full over here now. And again, instead of using 2 nodes, I only really need to use 1 node. And I can just go ahead and grab all. And that is a pretty fantastic start, I feel. Let's go ahead and keep on going. All right, now again, we're going to look toward our next thing. Now, one of the things that I was fooling with last time is my upgrade stuff here. Right, is to do my upgrade. And there was like a thing that keeps popping up here on the side. And I'm like, I'm going to figure out what the heck is up with that thing on the side here. What do we need? We need some cables, and we need some reinforced iron plate. So how do I add that thing to the side? Do I have to go in here? Let's go into Q menu. How do I add that in there? I mean, there was a plus here that told me I could build, like right here. If I want to build this constructor, I press this plus, and I need reinforced iron plates 3 and cable 2. Now, if I close that, does it stay up? Oh, it stays up on the right side of the screen. Or not just now. So yeah, now it's telling me I need reinforced iron plates. Now, to make reinforced iron plates, of course, we need tons and tons of screws. Now, screws are also something that I felt was kind of a bottleneck previously. But look how fast it goes when I'm doing it, though, right? When I'm doing it, it goes incredibly fast. And when I'm making iron plates, it also goes way faster than the actual manufacturing of the iron plates. I feel like the iron plates are something that we need to work on. Also, another thing that I noticed last time was we collected those slug things, and they give it like a boost or something. I don't really know how that works, but I kind of got an idea that it will boost my stuff. The thing I think I want to boost is those iron plates. That's definitely something we'll look at later on. All right, so we made some reinforced iron plates. We're going to go in here. We're going to go ahead and click this. And we need some more iron plates and some more cable wires. Now, I don't feel like we need three portable miners for our copper. But we're going to at least put one of them over there. Because, you know, this way it'll at least do it there. Now, I find the copper to be insane. I feel like you get so much copper at the beginning that is pretty crazy. Big time. Okay, we're just going to try to establish. Again, as we're running, we'll just grab all this random stuff. It's so easy to hit. Just hit E. We'll go over here. And we'll tell it to go ahead and do our copper. We double click. And it comes in our hand. Then we just aim at it. Click it again. Oh, see, this one says normal. That's why we're getting so much copper. Because this is a normal mode, normal node versus the impure node. I feel kind of impure, normal, and then maybe pure. I don't know. Don't tell me. We'll find out. We'll find out. So that's pretty cool. So again, that's something we just learned. Is there a different thing? And I forget who said it in my channel, but appreciate who gave me that little tip there. That does help a lot. Now again, don't spoil too much though. We want to go ahead and give it a try and try out different mechanics and see if they work. And it's okay to fail. It's okay not to know everything, both in game and in life. It is okay to learn from your mistakes. You're going to make a lot of them, so you might as well embrace them. Embrace your mistakes. Embrace your awkward moments. Embrace all of that. Be who you are. Like Anarchy Burger right there, coming in with the 10 months of sub love. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it all, man. Look, we are crazy efficient up in here. Holy moly, I got so much I can't even grab it all. So much loot. All right, so again, we needed something else which I've already forgotten. Reinforced plate. And what else do we need? And cable. Right, we need plate and we need cable. All right, we got plenty to do all of that, right? We got 400 iron now. I have so much I can't even build anymore. All right, hold on. Now, I saw this thing as well, that you can actually go and grab all of the same type by holding down control. I noticed that by mistake, but I was holding down control. Look at that. You can grab just a certain type in there. Or you can just double click and it caves it out. And so on. But holding down control to drag it in there was cool. And I did that by mistake. I don't know how I did that. But that is pretty cool, right? You can go ahead and grab all of that stuff in there. This right here we don't need. Now, another thing we can do is just say store all. And it will auto stack it. And then we just take out the stuff that we're currently working with, which I feel is all of this stuff, kind of secondary or second tier items, right? You got your first tier, which would be your raw iron and your raw stuff. Now, do I need to keep, 20 stacks of iron in there and 20 stacks of concrete? I don't think so. I don't really think so that I need that much. Just keep all the rest of that stuff offset over there. And we can go ahead and keep on going. Now, I feel like it would be great if you could go ahead and add this. How do I add this over here? Now, that would be the thing to add. Because then that would tell me, hey, you need this, this, and this, and the other thing. But it's not telling me that. All right, we need our wires, which is why we were going to go ahead and get some copper here. I think we can just make some right here. Not quite enough. Not quite enough wires there, but we'll go ahead and just put them in here anyway, so we don't have to carry them around. So we need one more wire, and we need a bunch more plates. Now, plates I think we could definitely do. Oops. Oh yeah, I guess we could turn that on. Turn on the stuff, only the stuff we can make. This way it'll kind of clear that up a little bit. Maybe we'll do that. So let's get it going. And again, more iron plates. And I feel like you want to upgrade as quickly as possible. Kind of at the beginning of the game, feels like you want to just do your upgrades. And then, going... Like, I haven't even explored all that much around. So, I kind of feel like that's like a later game thing. Personally, to go around and explore and find out what's out there. There we go. There we go. Oh, Just Alcura also coming in with the 18 months of sub love. Thank you to Fat Toasters. Also for the follow as well. Thank you so much, Just Alcura, for that massive, massive support here in the stream. Appreciate it. Let's show lots of love in the chat for the peeps keeping it going. Deadeye Savage says shift control. Shift control, double click. Shift control, double click. I will try that. Now, command keys, I'm down for that. You can just tell me command keys. I like those. Let's try that. Let's try shift control. and double click. What does that do? That doesn't seem like it does anything. Shift control and then drag. No, all you gotta do is hold down control and then drag. Yeah, just control and drag is what does it for me. I don't know what shift control does. Let me know. I just hold down control key and drag it, and it pulls everything of the same type. If you double click, it'll go in there. If you hold down control and hold down control and double click, doesn't do anything. But if you hold down control and drag, bam, it drags it all in there. Let's try shift control and double click. Or how about shift control right click? Oh, that's splits. Control right click, that's more splitting. That splits it in half. And that moves it in there. So yeah, I feel like if you just hold down control, that's the way to go. Boom. Oh, hold down control and then drag. Boom, it pulls it all in there and then restacks it nicely. So I like that. And again, I like to store everything and then just kind of double click out what I need. That seems to help a lot. A lot. Keep my thing on me. I'll go ahead and pull all the rest of this ore out of here. We'll get back to all those plants and stuff later. Okay, so again, let's get into it. Making plates. That's what we're doing. Iron plates. We can make a ton of them. And I'm just trying to make just enough to get to the next upgrade, to get to our automation, which should be very, very soon. There we go. And if you just double click here. Now, I've hold down shift and I've done all of that. Oh, wait. Maybe control drag would do multiple stacks as well, right? Like if you needed 200, right? Because these only stack at 100. If you held down control and then dragged in, maybe it would grab multiple stacks and max that out. I don't know. We'll try that later. We'll try it later. All right, we got that going. Look at our concrete is full over there, but I'm not even going to grab it. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Oh, bushes. Not grabbing my bushes as I run here. Now, well, the most dangerous thing about this over here is there's a big pit right there that we're going to try not to fall down into. I'm kind of going around the long way. There we go. Just to grab all these bushes. All right. Grab all. So that's why that is producing so much, because it's a normal node. Now we know. Fat Toaster's also coming in with the sub love. Wow. Follow and sub love as well. Oh my gosh, tier 3. Holy mackerel. Dad dance. Didn't know you were going to get the dad dance up in here, did you? Holy mackerel. Tier 3 love up in here, everybody. Show them that massive love in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that massive support here in the stream. Big time. Got to get the dad dance in. You know, you get an awesome sub like that. You got to show some love. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you for being here. Again, so we're rule number 1. We can always do better next time. And so we're starting from scratch again. I got to about where I was doing coal and that kind of stuff, but I really felt like I didn't really crush the beginning, and I feel like I'm crushing it much better now. And of course, I'm talking a little bit here, so that's also slowing me down as well, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get it going. All right, so we got our copper ingots here. We're going to try to convert those, but yet again, we are too full. Let's get over here, because we collected all those leaves and stuff as we were running along. Get the wood out of there. Let's sort that so we can kind of see what we got in there. Everything looking good. All right. And again, I find it's important to just take the workbench and put it over here, because running back to that workbench every time does get old very, very quickly. All right, let's go. Let's keep going with our copper. And again, I can convert all of it, but, you know, we only need so much. And I would really love it if you could tag the upgrade, right? Like if I need stuff for a constructor, well, that's cool. But I feel like it's not as useful. I'm going to clear that out. It's not as useful as if it was my upgrades. My upgrades would be... Wrathwall went and clipped that. Yeah, so I think it would be more advantageous is to be able to tag this over here and says, you know, quest is blah, blah, blah. But, you know, up here it says it at the top, in the upper right-hand corner, but you can't see it because my thing's in the way. But I'll move it real quick here for just a second. Let's see if I can find it. That's the hardest thing. Can I find it? You would not believe how many things I have in my stuff. Where are you hiding? It is hiding somewhere. Oh, it's in my overlay. It's in my overlay. That's right. Okay, it's in my overlay, so I can't just grab it. It's not separate. But I can, let's see. This is pretty weird, this layout. I can try to find my overlay if it lets me see it. Wow. Blink a few times. Maybe I can see it. This is really weird. Oh, there it is up there at the top. That was a weird place for my overlay. Watch this. Whoop! Up there in the upper right-hand corner there, you can see it actually tells me in that upper right-hand corner the current milestone. So if I set the milestone, then it shows me in that upper right-hand corner. Right? And at some point, I will move that out of that upper right-hand corner so you guys can see it too. But we'll just leave it there. You get the idea. You get the idea. All right, so let's go over here. Let's double-click. Get that going. Upgrade. So that would be one of the first things I would think of is, you know, using that thing is to put it in there, but you've already got it.
Congratulations. You have unlocked new buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench, respectively.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is where I want to really get.
Hub upgrade, additional power. Advice. When planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Duh.
Caution. Overloading the power network guarantees suboptimal performance.
I would think so. All right, so now we do upgrade number 4 here. And again, I'll go ahead and turn my overlay off just for a second. Look, it's not up there in the corner. So I feel like the thing we want to learn this time, and the reason why I'm talking about this, is that we want to click select milestone right away. Right? Whatever our next milestone is, we want to select that right away so we know what to construct up there in that upper right-hand corner. You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to go in and fix this overlay real quick. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to do a little extra something here. That is pretty amazing if you think about it, because my buddies over at Stream Elements, they do an amazing job over there where you can actually edit the stream live right now. I'm going to edit it right now. And go ahead and move that down a little bit so that you guys can see that. Or maybe I'll move it over a little bit. Maybe over is a better idea. Let's go ahead and move that over. Let's say right here. And then we'll save. And magically, it'll just move. Isn't that cool? I think that's the coolest thing ever. And then we'll go ahead and move just a little bit more. And then save again. Boom. Perfect. There we go. Now, if you have not discovered the amazing people at Stream Elements, I would go definitely check it out because look how cool that is. You can just update your stuff live. Like I just updated my layout, I updated my overlay, I moved a whole bunch of stuff, and that's all automated. When you guys donate, it automatically does that bar and all of that stuff, and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, so cool. So now we know what we need to construct right up there. So let's go to it because we've already crushed it. We have so much stuff now that it's probably stopped out here. Yeah, see, it's already stopped at probably all the locations. We have so much loot here at the very beginning that we are ready to rock. So we need 20 and 20 here again. So really what we need is cables. So let's get 20 cables. 20, let's sort this. There we go. 20 cables, 20 concrete. We need 75 of these, which we've got. And what we're waiting on right now are plates. So let's make those. And we need 100 plates, and we have 9. And we have currently the ability to make 14, if you can't see it, if it's too small for you to see. I'm just going to go ahead and convert all this iron until I get to a point where I can make enough plates to unlock the next one. We'll just go unlock the next one straight away. And I feel like I want to... This is the tier that I want to get to as quickly as possible, right? The one that allows you to start really automating all of this stuff. So we're just going to keep going here. We've got 9, so we essentially need 91. We're just going to keep on cranking. H2O coming in with the lurky lurk. Look at all that love for you in the chat, Fat Toasters, man. Showing you some massive love up in here. And again, I have become obsessed with this game so much that I am building stuff in my head when I am not streaming. And I was sitting here and I got to a point where I was like, I couldn't sleep, and I'm like, you know what? That's it. Instead of building it in my head, I'm going to go build it for real, just stream early. So that's what we're going to do. You know, that's my prerogative. I'm the streamer. I can do whatever I want, because it's my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. Especially at my age, I can do whatever the heck I want. That's the great thing about life. Did you know that? You answer to no one. You answer to no one. You can do whatever you want to do in life. Absolutely. You can like different types of music. You can like gaming. You can like different things like, say you're into sewing, or maybe you're into LARPing, or you're into, you know, going to Renaissance fairs and other fun stuff like that. Or you love your favorite sports team, or, you know, maybe you love to do like surfing and stuff like that, or anything to do with the water. I'm down for that. You can count Kismet in for that. You know, what if someone else comes in and tries to put their negativity on you? It ain't your job to stick it on your shoulder. It ain't your job. Forget those people. You go do what you love to do. Like I'm doing right now. I'm playing some games. Let's go. I'm just going to double click all this stuff right in there. And now we're ready to go. Let's do that, baby. All right. Let's do it. Now, I always like to go in and see what I got.
Congratulations. Right? You have unlocked Hub Feature, Additional Biomass Generator. New buildings, which can be found in the build menu.
All right, so now
objective, Hub Upgrade, Molecular Analysis.
Cool.
Note, to ensure full mastery of skills and equipment, I have been asked to not interfere with this last objective. Good luck.
Thank you. Cool. Now what we got to do is, of course, get to our next one, and I'm just going to click that milestone straight away, right? So we know what we're aiming for here in the upper right-hand corner. And we can just go ahead and put the stuff in there for right now, but actually we're going to come back to that in a second. Now, the most important thing that we unlock there, I find, is the miner, because now we can start to automate everything. Now, we could have went in and we could have put down our things, and I feel like that's kind of a waste in the very beginning, is to put down the constructor and put stuff in there and just have it automatically doing it and putting the fuel in there. I feel like if you don't have the miner, there's no reason to start the constructor yet, because you can just make it in the workbench 10 times faster. But here we go. So we're going to go ahead and pick this up. I'm going to grab all. We're going to actually pick that miner up. And same thing here. We're going to just pick up the miner. It's going to give us all that ore as well. Notice the ore pops up in there. There we go. All right. We're going to pick that up. And we're going to start with thing number one. Now, one of the things that I love to do is use foundations here. We're going to go ahead and just roll over all of these things here, just so that we can see them without the new over it. We know those are new. There we go. Is the foundations. And someone did come in and tell me that you can actually put your foundations down and put your miner over the top of it, which is a little immersion breaking for me. It's like, you know, it's kind of drilling through the steel and all of that. I was like, but then again, you can line up all your stuff better. So I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted as to what to do. What should I, you know, suspend disbelief and just say, okay, it makes a tunnel through the thing and you know, it's fine because we just drill a hole through the metal and it's good? Or do I put it on the ground so it doesn't look like it's going through the metal, right? And I feel like I've got to go with the aesthetic of it's got to be on the ground, right? It's got to be on the ground, and that's just me, right? Now, you don't have to do that, right? You can put down the things and all of that so that it's nice and beautifully and straight. But I feel like if you're going to go with the IRL, if you're going to go with the aesthetic of what it should do... Now, if they added, you know, the cosmetic of it later where it actually, you can make a round one that you can put underneath there and then it goes through without penetrating the actual steel, then I'm good. But I feel like this playthrough, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, you know, rock it like this. We're going to rock it on the ground. Now, I have a bunch of foundations that I have, right? And then I can rework here into here as well. And I'll have to try to build around this, which is going to be very, very difficult. But we're going to go ahead and just try to do my technique I did last time here, which is just to kind of nudge as close as we can. Now, notice how up high this is. Maybe we don't want to start with that. Maybe we want to start with one that's much lower, right? Much lower so it's not right in the thing. And we're going to go ahead and just start as close as we can. We're going to try to center it a little bit. Notice how it has these white lines, right? Let's go ahead and bring up my arrow here. And yes, I know I go way above and beyond in my stream. So let's go ahead and... hold on a second. Let me go ahead and lock all this other stuff. It's going to make it difficult for me to move my arrow. There we go. All right. So we go ahead and move our arrow here. if you notice there's a white line here. Now, this white line is giving you a perspective line. Have you ever done perspective drawing? You probably understand a bit about, vanishing lines that go off into the distance. And these are kind of helping us line up off these other lines, right? So we've got these yellow lines and we've got these white lines, and we're going to try to line up off those vanishing lines. And that's what we're going to try to do to make it, as perfect as possible. And I'm going to try to get it as close as possible. And we're going to utilize those vanishing lines. Just try to work our magic here. Let's say there. Close enough. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but good if it's perfect as it can be. Right? And then we're going to go ahead and build around right here. Now, another thing that we can do, and we don't have enough concrete right now, another thing we can do is we can assign this to one of our bars. So I'm going to assign that to 5 by just simply pressing 5 on the side of my awesome Naga here, which has 12 buttons on the side. My favorite mouse of all time. Incredibly fantastic, because you got 12 buttons at your proposal. You don't have to press it on the keyboard, because clicking is also noobing. If you've ever played World of Warcraft with someone who does clicking on their skills, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had friends that do that, who click on their skills instead of pressing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's nothing worse than a clicker. I'm just warning you in advance, everybody. You want to get aggro in an MMO, be a clicker, bro. There you go. Naga Molten. No, this is a Naga Chroma Epic. But the Naga Molten is also a really good one, too. Never played WoW. Well, if you ever play an MMO, what it is, there's skill rotations. So if you're clicking, the clicking actually takes longer than if you're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the side of a Naga here. And again, it's a Naga. It says it on the bottom. There we go. Naga Epic Chroma. So it actually lights up. So as you can see, it's in red right now. I got it in red, which is cool. One of the things I noticed about this version, by the way, it doesn't load up the logo. What's up with that, Racer? What's up with that? So I just happen to have 2 more mouses over here, too. I got 2 more Nagas as well. One for my streaming PC and one even on my Mac. How about that for crazy, right? And you're like, Kismet, you got a Mac? That's right, I'm a graphic designer. I do 3D animations and stuff like that. You might come into my stream and say, Kismet, I want to see something above and beyond. How about a dancing dragon? There we go. Of course, you're like, Kismet, who does all these cool animations and stuff for you? This guy. I'm also a 3D animator. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a 3D animator, speaker, and educator as well. And gamer, of course, as you can see. All right. I think that was a given, that one. All right. We need to make some more concrete over here, but we have put all our concrete away in our little storage over here. So let's go over here and grab all this out. Let's just do a take all. Or actually, let's do it store all. There we go. That was a better idea. Store all, and then we're going to try our control and then drag. Boom! Haha! I like that. I like that new little thing that we learned there. We're going to need these. We're going to control drag those out. You know what? From now on, I'm just going to control drag everything. I'm just going to hold down the control key whenever I'm pulling out. We'll use that later. Grab this out. And I find you want to kind of constantly micromanage this. And then this will put here, but I wanted this just to stay on my character. I don't know why it keeps coming off my character. I guess when I'm doing something, it keeps coming off of there. But I feel like I just want it to be there all the time. When I go into Q, I don't know. Maybe I'm pressing something that's making it come off of my character. I sure I am at some point. All right, so again, I was, suspend disbelief here, everybody. I would rather have it on the ground level. You can put it up on this level so that it will line to all of your stuff. But I don't feel like that is how I like to build. I feel like it just doesn't look right, right? I think it should be at the ground level. And we can go and, we can fine-tune it later. And if I change my mind, then I'll put it up a little bit higher as well. So I'm going to start with these kind of lower ones here. And just kind of put down a lot of this. And again, I feel like the concrete is the thing to do early on. Now, here's the cool thing. Watch this. As I pick this up and I get all the resources back from it. And we're just going to start with our iron production here. Again, I feel like this is where you want to start, right? Now, we could tear this whole thing down later, which I have done many, many times. But we're then going to go ahead and use, again, our equipment workbench. Stick this over here. Now, we're not going to probably use that all that much. And then our other workbench, we'll just put over here. Our crafting workbench, we're going to be using a lot. Let's put that off to the side. All right. So now we've got this miner going, right? And we're going to need, of course, some fuel for that miner. But luckily, we were smart at the very beginning here, and we've been collecting tons of leaves. So we're going to go ahead and grab those leaves and drop them right in there. There's a bunch of other stuff in here we can use, also wood. We're going to go ahead and sort all of that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make some fuel. Now, I could just put the leaves in there directly, but that's a lot less efficient than making biomass here. So we're going to make a whole bunch of biomass. And we have got so much now at the very beginning that we can literally fill this sucker all the way up. And we're just going to keep going, right? I mean, just from what the little bit that we picked up just from running around, we got her going. Yeah, I feel like, hey, Stub Bro, what's up? I feel like we're going to play some WoW, by the way, at some point. We're going to play it probably in August. I'm feeling some WoW Classic. I'm feeling some WoW Classic. I haven't played a WoW in like 10 years since it was Classic. That's how long ago I did. Now, of course, I am the leader and founder also of one of the longest running gaming guilds, 16 years with over 800 members, and we've had some amazing times in various games. Lots and lots of fun. All right, I feel like I'm going to pull some of this stuff out of here. I have got so much fuel right now that I definitely don't need to carry that around. I got a lot of wood I can convert to. I don't need to carry that around. I feel like we're good there. We feel like we're good, and we'll put that off to the side. Come back to it later. All right, now we want to try to automate what we're doing. So we want to get the ore. We want to also do the fuel over here. Now, you might have noticed that I turned this way. I turned it that way for a reason, so I could run the power here. Now, notice also we've also got two of them now. So I could have used the first one in the very beginning to have it auto-convert. I feel like that's a waste of time. I feel like the thing you want to do is you want to get to this point. Oh, gotta get rid of the whole hub. To get to this point where you can start to automate your miners, right? That's where you want to get. And you also want to get to a point where you can have enough concrete here to start to really get stuff going. So let's see. What did it drop a box? What happened to all my loot? Did it drop on me? Oh, it did drop on me. All right, so we don't have any concrete on us right now. But I feel like we want to move our hub. I'm just going to move it to this side for now. Probably should have made more things. And then we're going to need to use our thing here to store all for a second. And we're going to run out here. I'm going to collect all this extra stuff that we need. More concrete and whatnot that's been out here working while we've been busy doing other stuff. And we put 3 of them down. So now we're going to really not be hurting for concrete. Right there. I feel like we could get our base really started. I feel like you want to, get that good start, get that foundations down, get that going. And while we're out here, we might as well grab some copper too while we're at it. Again, I feel like you don't need that much copper in the very beginning. That copper is just, sometimes you get so much of it, it's overwhelming. And I made the mistake of running it out of my my node to start. Right, to run it out of my ore node and into a storage. I feel like that's a mistake, because then you have all this backlog of stuff that there's no way you can convert it in the beginning. So I feel like that's a later thing. All right, now I feel like right now is what we want to do is make a lot of concrete and build out our base. And my ultimate goal is to run all of these resources back to where my hub is, so I can, of course, use it to upgrade and do all of that stuff in the upper right-hand corner. So there we go. We got that. I'm going to press 5 to get my thing again here. I'm going to kind of expand. Oh, that was a fail. I hit F to go back. 5 again on my mouse to get that hotkey. I feel like we can just go ahead and add this. Now, look what's happening here, though. All right, we're starting to go into the ground. Now, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like I want to make that cosmetically better later on. But for right now, we're just going to deal with it. We're definitely going to lift this up a bit. Or maybe we'll leave it at this level, and we'll create another tier and another tier. Or we'll build straight up. Which we were experimenting a bit with that as well. All right, so now we've got this going. Again, we want to have our power in a way that we can access it. I feel like having it this way is a little annoying because we have to go back there and access our power. So maybe we want to go ahead and take this out now, kind of better fine-tune this. And again, you can take it out and you get all the resources back, which is super cool. And we want to turn it around this way. Move it way back here. Leave a little bit of a gap so we can kind of get around on the side. But it also has this side area here, so you could just put it up right up against the edge. But I like to leave a little bit of an edge there. Okay, there we go. Now we got our power facing this way, which is more aesthetically easy. So we can run our power and all of that, combine our power together. So now we got everything on that side. We've got our constructor over here. And now we're ready to automate our thing here. Now we've also got tons and tons of power here that we can put in here. So we'll just start that up. Now I don't want this to run because it's not really doing anything right now, right? So I want to go ahead and go in here and say, no, 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 no. Don't burn my fuel. Don't burn my fuel. And we're just going to turn this one off automatically. And we're going to go in here and we're going to work a little bit on our power. Where's all that other stuff? Is that on me? Did it drop? I keep losing my stuff. This is iron ore. It's because I keep scrapping stuff and then I'll put it on me. Nothing in there. Oh, I feel like there's a box somewhere. There's a box somewhere with our loot. Oh yeah. Hold on. Yep. See, now what happened was when I scrapped that, all the stuff that was in storage there got moved somewhere into a box. And that box is wherever my previous hub was, right? Over there or over here. And when I scrap it, all of a sudden it comes on me. Now, one of the things we can do later on is we can actually add stuff to put that in. So we're going to go ahead and just look around for it here. And I didn't mean to do that on purpose, but that is a great thing to learn about. Is where did all of our loot go? Again, normally you should put it right here. Not seeing it. And I love the fact you can just take all this down. See, look, there's one there. Now it's added this here. Now, another thing we can do, by the way, in the meantime, if we're not finding our loot, is we can just tear it all down like that. Just keep making these little things, which we'll pick up here in a second. Now notice these are all ones. If I see another one here, then I know that's where my stuff is. I love the fact that it puts it up there too. It's kind of funny. And again, we're making a mess. That's okay. And away it goes. So you're like, Kismet, you got all this stuff now. How do you deal with all that loot? Well, the thing is, we can just go over here and we can just make a storage container, right, and put it down. Now, one of the things is if you notice, I don't have enough resources to put it down. So I've got to be able to build something to get rid of my resources, right, because I have too much stuff. I can also throw away resources if I want to. Like I could just go ahead and throw away leaves or something like that. And one thing I noticed is you can't drop stuff. But I thought, you know what, maybe it's like Fallout 4 where you could just take it and just literally just drop it on the ground. And that's literally what you can do. Just dropped it on the ground. There it is right there, and I can pick it up if I want to. And now I should be able to go around and find the specific resource that I need. There's concrete there. Concrete here. Right? So what we need is we need our plates. Now this could be troublesome because you could at some point get stuck where you can't pick stuff up, right? You could really screw yourself up doing this, but you get all your resources back is what I'm trying to say here. You get tons and tons of resources. Now, I don't even know where the rest of my resources went because I thought it was over here. We made a bunch of fuel. Now, this is a pre-release game as well, so if you start to have bugs or issues with it, just know that it's still not finished. It's not finished. All right, so let's go in here. We can grab some bars, but we're looking for plates. So where the heck is our plates at? Not there. We got one over here. Does this take plates? No. One over here? No. So we're really kind of bumming right now, right? We're like, well, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. We could just back up, put down our craft bench, and do that. Oh, wait, no, we don't have plates for that either, right? So really the only thing you can do if you get stuck is to basically try to put your hub back down. That you can always put back down. You can always put your hub back down. Oh, if it lets me. There we go. We can always put our hub back down again. Go back over here and say, okay, well, let's restart again. Let's go ahead and put all that in there. And let's grab all of this. And again, this is one of the issues that I ran into last time, is that I'm like, oh my gosh, what happens if you run out of stuff? But you always have your hub, if you don't lose it, of course. If you don't die and it drops somewhere. But you always have your hub, so you can go ahead. Now, see, look, this one's on the ore, so sometimes you got to... There we go. There's those plates. And grab all your loot to reconsolidate it again into one. And this is something that I was really... This is a really good game mechanic to learn here, is the fact that it will drop your stuff. And again, we made a ton of biomass here. And notice I've got 199 there. So I've got 199 there. But what happened to all the other biomass that I had? It's got to be around here somewhere, right? Or not. Maybe it's gone. Maybe we've lost it all and we won't get it back. But let's just keep looking around in these boxes. Again, remember we scrapped over here. Another box over here. Not seeing my box. So I feel like it might have vanished. Right? It might have went bye-bye. So watch out for that. I kind of noticed that last time, that my stuff just vanished. After I made it all, and I put it in my hub, and then I scrapped my hub. And I don't know, it could be floating, it could be wandering off somewhere. I have no idea where it is. Might be hiding here in the bushes. Now here's the funny thing. If you stop looking for stuff, that's when you find it. Right? I find if I stop looking for that and just say, you know what, oh well, we'll come back to it later. That's when we'll find it later. We'll be running along and all of a sudden out of nowhere, bam, we'll run into those resources and whatnot. So what we're going to do is also fix the height of my thing here. Another reason I tore that all up is if you notice that this area over here, oh, a bunch of leaves there too. Pick up all these flower petals. That this is at a higher level than that is over there. And the same thing with our concrete over there is at a higher level. So we really want to have our things start at a higher level. So we probably want to start with this one over here. So we're just going to go ahead and pick all this up and start again. And you have to remove this pure node out of the way. There we go. Like so. Now again, if you get stuck, you're like, Kismet, Kismet, I'm stuck. You know, I don't have any place to put my stuff. Again, you can go ahead and try to make a container if you're at this level. So we're going to go in here and just start with a nice container. And again, look how many plates I should have back, right? All those plates that we made and all that stuff we did. I feel like we should have all that stuff back. But again, if you have an issue, just keep running. And once again, we'll try the storage container. Oh, still not there. We need a little bit more plates. No worries. Let's go in here. Let's go ahead and convert some of these ignits back to plates. No problem. And storage container. There we go. Alright, so I feel like the storage container is the smarter idea than to put it into this. And that's because you have to, one, run back here every single time. And if you want to take your hub down, what happens is then sometimes you might lose your loot. Right, so we'll go ahead and just store it all up there in that container. And we're going to really just kind of use our hub just for power. And for... just for power and just for... Oh, there we go. Right over there. There's one. Is this it? Is this the one? Oh, a little bit of something there. That appeared out of nowhere there. See, I could pick it up, but somehow there was another node there. So I feel like our node just vanished. We just can't see it currently. Maybe it's inside this rock. Could be. Could be. Just hit E a whole bunch. I don't know. Could be inside the world. Could have fell down into another side. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone now. All right, and then we'll just go back, and we'll go ahead and get back to doing our stuff here. And the same thing up here. We're going to go ahead and build our basic stuff. We're going to build our craft bench, right? Well, can't build our craft bench. You know why I can't build a craft bench? Because we don't have the resources. We got to go up here. And let's sort the resources. And now let's get into it. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff going. You guys get the idea of that. So watch out for that as you go. All right. And there we go. Crafting bench. We need a couple more plates. So to do plates, we got to bring back out our hub. This time I'm going to stick it way off over here. And a couple more plates. So you always can go back to your hub here and use that. But I want to try to get away from the hub, so I'm not using the hub as much. So I feel like I have to run back to the hub all the time. And I want to kind of be separated from it. I want to make sure my angles and my area, the height of my stuff is starting at a higher edge, and then it can kind of dip down if it wants. But basically, so it's kind of flat, and it's not running into the ground, which you saw me do, right? Saw me run it into the ground there, and then, you know, you're putting it underneath the surface. I would rather it be up out of the surface. We got a big animal up there. Look, he's hiding behind the tree. He's like, you can't see me. All right. Again, one more try. Here we go. Crafting workbench. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Throw it over there. Now I don't have to run back to my hub every time. And let's go ahead and start yet again with our foundations. So we're going to use these smaller ones. Oh, well, let's actually put our... Let's put on our miner. Down our miner. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and start this miner, say, in this direction. And once again, we're going to use the miner as our thing to line up our foundations off of. And we use those vanishing lines as best we can. And this is not... I wish it snapped. That would be awesome if this snapped to the front of the thing. That would make it a lot easier. But there we go. And now we're at a higher level, and we'll go ahead and build this toward our other one. Take that back out. There we go. If we get under here, you can see now it's at that higher level, so we're not going to be running as much into the ground over here. But it will eventually run into there. That's just going to make our factory a bit easier. And some of you are just coming into my channel like, Kismet, you can put that up on those plates. Yes, we can if we wanted to. But eventually it'll still run into the ground here. That's about good, I think. There we go. Again, you can go in and actually take a few of these out over here. You can go in like this and build yourself another miner, and it will. Oh, there we go. And it will build up on here on this higher level. So, for me, I feel like, you know, suspending disbelief, it should be on the ground, right? Because if it's on the ground, it feels more like that's proper. But instead of drilling through the actual thing, which doesn't seem legit to me. So I'm going to have it on the ground for right now. That's just me. Again, if you would rather it be perfectly in line, that's all you. Go for it. Go for it. All right, again, miners. And there we go. So we need, what do we need? We need our miner thing. I'm going to go check our storage over here. We get our miner thing out of there. Oh, comes the sunrise. Beautiful. Beautiful. And now we got two miners going. We got a miner going that way and a miner going this way. And I feel like they're fairly lined up. You have to choose. I find you have to choose one thing or another to line stuff up with, because these don't perfectly line up to each other. As you can see, they're not perfectly facing toward each other. They're kind of offset. So it's not like I can run them straight at them. And if I run them in the same direction, I feel like it's going to get kind of messed up. So like this one here, since we're close to the edge here, we can run this one, say, this way. And this one over here, this time I'm going to go ahead and change this one. And I'm going to run it in a different direction. I'm going to run it this way. Like that. Alright, very nice. Now we go ahead, again, work some more on our concrete. And build it out. Now, I'm not in any hurry. If you're in a huge hurry, you could, of course, come in here and, you know, be having automating all this stuff already. But I like to think things out, right? I like to take my time. Get it going on. I feel like we could do much better. Sometimes it clicks right when I don't want it to. Get out of there. All right. Take out the hub again. And let's see. We're going to aim this one that way. We're going to aim this one this way. I feel like our hub right about here, right? Right in this little area would be a nice spot. Kind of a longer term spot for our hub. So I don't have to keep moving it around all the time. And I feel like maybe we should do it long ways. Right, that's coming out of there. I feel like maybe we want to add a few more in this direction. Maybe offset it here in the middle. Something like this. There we go. And then we want to definitely add more of these out here to make it look legit. There you go. The building in here is really, really great. Okay, so we got that going. Now we're going to go in here. We're going to go ahead and add... I'm going to go ahead and split this stack. Add our biofuel in there. Our biofuel in here. We're going to turn this off. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and work on this. Alright. We're going to be constructing a lot of stuff out here. And this is going to be coming out this way. So let's just go ahead and put our craft bench right here. You can make a ton of these craft benches. You can put them everywhere. Craft bench there. Put more bench over here. Oh, need some more plates. Again, I feel like I lost a lot of resources there, but it happens. Just roll with it. There we go. Okay, now it's time to automate all of this stuff. We're going to need to power this up. And I'm going to go ahead and see if we make any more foundations right now. We've got to move this out just a little bit. There we go. All right. And again, I prefer it on the ground. You don't have to have it on the ground. You can totally do it up on the thing. All right. So we got that going. And now we need to work on some of our other stuff here on our automating all of our plates first. I would say plates first. We're going to make this our plates. So we're going to press 3, which is going to give us our conveyor belts. And I'm just going to run it nice and straight. Right up into here. Now, I don't have enough resources, enough plates to do that yet. So again, let's just run right over here because this is convenient. Make a lot more plates. And off we go. Bam. And try to line it nice and beautiful, right? Also think of our aesthetic while we're going. There we go. Easy mode. Easy mode. Now, I feel like I want to feed all of my stuff toward my hub. But the reason why is because that's where I'm going to be doing my upgrades and whatnot. So one of the first things we want, of course, is our smelter. So I'm actually going to turn the smelter sideways here. But I need some more copper wire. So let's make some more wire. And time for our smelter. Here we go. Again, we got a little bit of our aesthetic. Not too much, but just enough. We feel like we're playing legit, right? There we go. So now it's coming through the miner into this, which is going to smelt down into iron ingots. Now, from iron ingots, we're going to need to make other stuff using our constructor here. Now, we're going to hit the plus symbol over here. It's going to tell us what we need for our constructor. We're going to need a couple cables. So let's go ahead and make those. 1, 2. Then we don't have to remember because I have a terrible memory. At least for that kind of stuff. But for some reason, for game mechanics, I have a really great ability to remember that. All right, you pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. And we're going to turn this around so orange is coming out. Orange is going in and green's coming out. And I'm going to offset this a little bit and try to keep it so it's not blocking too much where I can run beside it here. And then, we need some more plates, which the irony is that's what that's going to make. Again, I only make just enough, right? I make just enough for what I need, and then go from there. instead of, converting all of it. In the beginning, it's cool to convert it all because you know you're going to use it. But here, I just enough what I need. All right, there we go. And that's going to go into there. And then we need like a storage area over here, which is going to store all of our stuff. So right now we need some plates. We're going to click on that again. It's going to tell us we need a bunch of plates. And instead of running all the way back up there, I'm just going to run right over here. Make some more plates. So I need 10 more. Or 8 more. Now we're working very, very efficiently. There we go. And as we go, you can deconstruct the foundation after you place the miner. You can, but I feel like then it'll be floating up in the thing and all of that. I don't feel like that's my way of playing, but again, I mean, this is your game. You play it however you want, right? I'm gonna play it however I want. That's how I like to play. Play it as aesthetically correct as possible. I'm sure they'll add it later where you can maybe make a round piece where when you put your thing in there, it makes a round hole in it so it looks like it goes into the ground. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they don't care. I care. I care the way it looks. All right, so basically what we wanted to do, take the ore, run it into the furnace, convert it into iron plates, and then put it in the storage so we can grab it out of the storage and use in there, and basically automate the entire process. Now, if we look in here, and the thing is going to produce 30 per minute. Now, as when we looked at this node, we noticed it was an impure node, which is, of course, the lowest node. Apparently, it goes faster in the higher nodes. I don't know. I haven't seen a pure node yet. I have seen a normal, though. I've seen normal copper over there. So this is going to come out here at 30 per minute. We're just going to go ahead and power this up. So we got 3 things to power here. This requires 5 megawatts. This requires 4, I believe. Yes, 4 there and 4 here. So you got 8 and 5. You guys can do the math if you want, but I'll just do it for you. That's 13 watts. And over here, these produce basically 20 megawatts. So I really only need 1 right now. But one of the things that someone did tell me on stream, and I appreciate it, is the fact that you can combine both of these. So I pressed 1, by the way, which gave me a power pole, and I pressed 2 to do a power line. Is you want to go ahead and combine those. Now, I can't do it right now because I am missing some wire. So again, we'll make a little bit more wire and so on. Bam. We'll go ahead and convert our copper. And again, we'll automate all this stuff later as we go. And that's part of the fun is, getting to a point where it's just making all the stuff for you. And that's what we're doing right now. We're just getting to that point in which we're going to automate all this. So power line, power pole, and power line, power pole, which then is going to combine our power. And I'm only going to turn one of these on because I don't need to consume both of them. I'm going to put one of those on, and I'm going to run the power line there. And then the smart thing to do, before you run out of power lines, because it's 3 of 4, if I run one more and then I'm out, is you want to run another power line somewhere. We can go ahead and feed it to the rest of this, right? So I'm going to say right here. But again, we need some copper. So again, the thing to do, turn your stuff off, otherwise it's wasting your fuel. Don't waste your fuel, otherwise you got to go and collect more stuff. I made that mistake in my first couple playthroughs, is that I was just having stuff run when I wasn't even doing anything at that moment. So let's make some more wire. There we go. And at some point we're just going to be rolling in resources, at least this starter resources. All right, again, we'll run from here to here. That's going to go ahead and make it where we can now connect the rest of these without running out of power poles. And I always try to leave one extra as I'm expanding. And then over here as well, one of the things that people were telling me to do, that I had to take the whole thing out when we were doing a learn to play section when we first start playing. But you don't have to take the whole thing out. You can actually just go in, pull the power line out by hitting F and aim at the power line, much like in Fallout 4. In Fallout 76, you can do the same thing. We need a little bit more concrete here. Let's see. Did I go pick up my concrete? I don't think I did. Let's go. And this time, instead of just putting one of these things down, I put 3 of them down. So whenever I need stuff, I can just literally go... Oh, I picked up the whole thing. I can literally just go over here and pick up 3 of these. I didn't mean to pick that up. Put that down. I meant to grab all. There we go. I can literally just come over and get 300 concrete, and I'm good. Or 300 iron, or 300 whatever. At the very beginning. It helps a lot at the very start. Okay. So we got that going. Again, we're going to tear this all down and redo all of this again later. As I find you go up different tiers and you get different stuff unlocked, you will remake this stuff over and over again. All right, so there we go. So we got that connected there. We want to go ahead and make another power pole so that we can expand later on. Let's say right here, but we need a little bit more concrete. Go ahead and make some of that. Very nice. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just fix this to where we take this out. And this will just be our main power pole. So this one's going to go to this one. Right, and that'll just work with that. And then this will chain to the rest of these like that. Okay? And then you have one free here. You got one free there. You got one free there. And you can continue to expand without getting bottlenecked when it comes to power. Make sure you got them all connected together. And then all we do is we flip on the power. Bam! And away it goes. And now it's going to go ahead and start up our thing here. You can also ride the conveyor belts, which is really fun. We're going to start this up. And now this is going to completely automate itself. Here it comes. Alright, so that ore is going to come through there. And you can speed this up a lot later. It's very, very fun. And in it goes. Alright, so it's going to go in here. It's coming in at 30. It's going out at 30. That's good. That's what you want. In at 30, out at 30. Then this one here. It's coming in at 30, going out at 15. Oh, wait a minute. What? Going out at 15. Now, right now, it's cranking away on it. And the only way we know that this is working properly is the fact that when it gets to 4, it should go back down to 2, right? 4, 2, 4, 2. We know that we're not producing too much iron ignites because it takes 2 and it's producing 15. So really, if you think about it, this is perfectly balanced. And the reason why it's perfectly balanced is because this is producing twice as much as we need, right? It's producing, it's producing 2 iron ignites in the same time that this is consuming 2, right? So that's, a little bit of math there, but you get the idea. So it comes out at 30, it converts it at 30 to 30, and then over here it consumes 2 of them, so it needs to produce 2 of them in the same amount of time, and then it will just perfectly run at maximum efficiency. And that's what it's doing right now. It's cranking that out. Then it's taking them and then putting them right in here, and now we're good. That's it. We walk away, we let it run. As long as we got fuel there, we'll be fine. Now, over here, we're going to do something else, the same kind of thing. Except for we're going to make it a little bit bigger here. We know probably a little bit more concrete there. All right. And again, we're going to make it a little bit bigger over here. Wider, because we're going to need to do something different, because we're going to make iron bars. We're going to work with that in just a second as well. Now, I feel like actually this is not as important as doing the concrete right away. Because the concrete, as you're building out your base, is the thing that you're using all the time. And I feel like you get your iron going, you got your iron plates going, cool. But I really feel that concrete is number 1 out of all those things. Because concrete takes a while to build up. So, we're going to go ahead and make some concrete to make some concrete. You know what I mean? Go like that. We want to go ahead and make a miner here, so we're going to go ahead and press a plus. That's going to tell us, okay, we want to make a miner. What else do we want to make? Do we want to make a smelter? Well, you don't smelt concrete. You actually construct concrete, so we're going to say that as well. And now we know exactly what we need, right? And it's going to put it right here on the side. We need 1 portable miner. So we're going to go look over here at our kind of temporary container that we made to keep all of our stuff in there. And we've got, what do we got in here? We got some iron ore that we can convert. And we happen to have an extra miner in there, which is going to help us. And then we'll go ahead and make some stuff out of this. Over here. Boom, 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 boom. Now this early stuff, it's easy for you to just make it in the thing. I actually find it's faster to make it in the thing, but later on you'll hit a bottleneck where you making it is so incredibly slow that you literally just have to stand here and watch this go. It reminds me very much of previous MMOs where where you would just, you know, set your character going and tell him to make 1,000 ore, and he would just sit there and do that for like 20 minutes. And you're like, wow, this is a really fun gameplay because you're just sitting here doing this the whole entire time. So you want to eventually get away from doing this. You want it to do it automatically, which is where we're going to get to here in just a moment. Just a moment. All right, we're going to make a bunch of iron rods here. We're going to make a little bit of excessive amount of stuff. Just so we have enough to get all of this going. Again, we already tagged over there how much stuff we need. If you can't see it over there, it says portable miner, iron rod, concrete, reinforced iron plate, and cable. And we also need to make sure that we have some inventory room because we're going to pick up a bunch of stuff here. So we're going to go ahead and pick up this miner, pick up this one, and pick up that one. Now look at there. See, we ran out of room. So it made a chest. We're going to run back again. I feel like this is the better option than to go back by your thing every time. All right, so we'll store all there. Now, look, all the stuff dropped out of there. Sort. We'll need one of those. We're going to need these. We're going to need our concrete. We're going to need our iron bars and plates. And also this. There we go. And then right over here, we will also pick up the rest of this. Grab all. All right. And now, same thing. We want to go ahead and start creating a miner here for our concrete. And again, I'm just going to put it on the ground level. You want it, if you don't want it on the ground level, you're like, Kismet, I don't like it on the ground level, bro. Hey, you do you. You do what you want to do. All right, we got tons of limestone in here we can convert. I don't need to save that for a rainy day. Let's go ahead and just go crazy here and just blast the rest of this concrete like so. Meanwhile, we're making tons and tons of plates right now. And that's what's cool. While you're doing one thing, it's doing something else. Auto clickers are life. There you go. There you go. Well, that's it, man. If you want to just, you know, turn on a macro and AFK, go for it, bro. I don't like playing that. I feel like it's cheating. But yeah, it's your game. They're your choices. Me, I don't like to macro anything unless it's built into the game. If you actually, like, you know, World of Warcraft, they have the macros that you can make in-game, then I feel like it's okay, because I feel like not everybody can macro, or not everybody understands how to macro. So it would give a player an unfair advantage to just sit there and basically press a button and walk away and go have lunch. I don't really, that's not my thing. But if it's your thing, that's you, bro. You do you. All right, let's go ahead and expand this out. Again, this is why we made this a little bit higher and why I tore that whole entire side down. You'll see how it just kind of works out. We get over here. That it just so happens... We'll take out all these trees later. It just so happens to work out where we're not running into the ground here. Fail. Fail, click. I think that's pretty good. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and just fix in the rest of our base. And the reason why I started over there is because that's the high point. Started at the high point and work my way down from the high point. Okay, now we've got this problem with this container is now in the way, blocking the rest of our base. So we're going to go ahead and take this container, or make another container, right here. And this container just does nothing other than just kind of holds our stuff for now. All right, we'll take all, we'll turn around, store all. Anything else? Nope. And then when we take it down, remember it's going to give us resources as well. And then we'll go ahead and just fill in this. Oh, we're out of concrete. We put it away. And we'll just take all. There we go. And look how much limited amount of resources we have now. This particular playthrough, my goal is to have the least amount of stuff on me, right? So I don't have a lot of stuff that is building up in my inventory in here or in there. We go in here, we look in here, there's nothing in there, right? So I'm going to try to not get a lot of excess stuff where I'm kind of micromanaging it all the time. Just a minimum amount of stuff that I need to get by. Oh, put that in there. Let's keep that out of there. Let's put this. We got everything else in there. Yeah. And then we kind of lost some stuff, and some of the stuff that we picked up, which is a huge bummer, but oh well. Oh well. We'll go back and get it done later. Alright, so now we've got this going here, and we want to go ahead and just make ourselves, like we said here, a constructor. We're going to throw that constructor in there. We can kind of lean it off the edge a little bit here. Hold down the control key, and what it does, it kind of lines up like so. And just lean it off the edge. And see if it'll go up. And perfect. There we go. Nice. Okay, and then we need some power from over here. So right now we're using a good amount of power over here. We can go check it by going in here, and it tells you it's consuming 13, and we got 20, right? Now if we go over there and we look at that, I can tell you it's 5 and it's 4. So that's 9 more watts that we need. And 9 plus 13 is 22. So that's too much. It's too much. So we're going to have to fire up our other one over here. And to do that, we can go ahead and just, let's see, where's the rest of our biomass go? I think we used it up. I think we used it up. Or we lost it. So let's go ahead and grab our leaves here. We'll run around, do a little bit more collecting. What's up, big guy? Now, I find some of these mobs are not aggro. So if they don't attack me, I don't attack them. Very easy to do. And I have gotten to coal and chainsaw and all that stuff before. But I stopped there and we started over again to try to make it more efficient from the very beginning. So, alright, there we go. And we want to make some biofuel. That's our biomass. Let's go make that. Biomass. Let's go. We can make a ton of that. In early game, too, I find it's easier just to, instead of building like a whole biomass conversion thing, it's just easier to make it on yourself. So let's go ahead and max that one out. We want that one to keep going, and then we'll go ahead and put all this in here. You know what? Hold on. Let's try the whole control. Oh, it's already 200. I'm going to try the whole control drag thing. Let's take that out. We'll split it and stack. Let's hold down control and drag. Boom. It does grab. It grabs from multiple stacks and drag it in there. Oh, cool. All right. So now we're going to fire this one up. Oh. There we go. Now, we don't really actually need to fire that up. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's take it off. And then let's go ahead and run our power first. Now, one of the cool things about running the power is the fact that... over here. Is the fact that we don't really need to put it real close, right? Actually, the wires go really, really far. So we can make it really, really far away. And more conversion over here. And maybe some more cables. There we go. Alright, and again, this one's just to tie our power plants together. And then we can make this really far away. Right up here against the edge. And we can grab that from way over here and run it way over here. That's one of the things I learned very early on is I'm like, what is the max distance of these wires? And this will come into play also in that direction after we're done doing this. Alright, now here we go. So now it's going to go ahead and fire that up. Again, see, I feel like that's more legit, right, than digging into a metal piece underneath it. But again, it's your game. You do whatever you want. If you want it to be at the same level, I don't feel like it's that big a deal. But that feels like that's more legit to me. Alright, that's just me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and run that in. Now it's going to run into here, and then we want this to make stuff. What do we want to make? Concrete, right? Because we're pulling out concrete out of there into here. And it's got no power for some reason. Oh, we forgot to turn the other thing on. That's going to be helpful. Let's fill in the rest of this while we're at it. There we go. I got to turn the other power on. Now, if you don't turn the power on, what happens is, boom, it gets knocked off, right, if you're using too much power. But now we're going to turn that on. It's 40 megawatts. Pull this down. We can restart it. We're good. Looks good. And now this is going to start to crank it out. Now, I made the mistake of thinking that I should just run the ore over here by my base and work on it right there. I feel like that's actually not the plan to do. I feel like you want to have the final product, that be shipped over to what you want over here, right? So if we go in and we say, okay, you know what? This is now producing this. We want to go ahead and run this straight over here. But let's just kind of make it look nice, right? Think about the aesthetics of it. Let's say right there. While we're building. And then we can run it right into there. Right, and then as it's coming down, we can also grab it off the conveyor belt, which is awesome. Oh, it lets me. There we go. Now what it will do is it doesn't fall off the end of the conveyor, by the way. It'll just go down the conveyor and then stop at the end. Oh, that's actually a little crooked. Move that over just a little bit. What I'm trying to do is, of course, pipe all the resources over here by my base. And so I can just grab them. So let's go ahead and rearrange this. And we say, okay, we've got our iron plates going to right here. All right, so we got that. We can grab those out of there when we need to upgrade our base. And then on this side, even though I've got a tree in the way right now, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and organize my storage. Oh, need some more plates, which is convenient because I have some over here. Oh, or if I had enough room. Let's just convert the plates we've got. I'm going to stick those over there. We got way too much iron on us. All right, let's go ahead and convert that. Oh, not enough inventory space yet again. All right, hold on. Let's just go ahead and convert this. Now, again, the problem I had before is that I would end up with so much copper. I'd end up with all this iron. I'd end up all this stuff because I was feeding the miners directly into a storage container, which would then fill up with tons of stuff. Now, I'd have to sit here and do this manually or create another side thing to do it. And I'm trying to reduce the amount of stuff that I have on me early game, right? The amount of stuff that I have to convert early game, so I don't end up with just literally just tons and tons of stuff on my character or having to store it in my storage thing. All right, and again, we'll go in here. I should have did the thingy. I should have done the plussy thingy. Boom. There we go. All right, so we need some iron plates and whatnot. I'm trying to learn to use that thing because I have been neglecting it. All right, storage container. We're just gonna stick it. Yeah, we'll just run it up right against the edge like this. There we go. And this is not perfect, so it's got to go. Oh, all right, there we go. Darn trees in my way. Trees! Notice it turned red because we've gone too far. We don't have enough plates. Let's go to there. Got room. We're gonna churning out plates like nobody's business. Doing my work for me. Down here we go, and there comes the concrete again. Again, we'll take this tree out eventually. Oh. Suspend disbelief there. The tree's in the way. There we go. All right, now that's just going to just keep churning out concrete. And now we've got plates and we got concrete. I feel like concrete, you got to get started early because I'm going to use a lot of that to just, you know, build out the base and expand the base. Now we're on to the next thing here. Our next thing, I feel like this one I want to take out again. And because it's kind of hitting the edge of this here, that we're going to go ahead and rotate that. If possible. Actually, let's make another storage container. Let's say right over here. Store all that stuff. Again, you notice I build and then take away, build, take away. Do a lot of that in this game. Take this out. Just reorganizing everything. And this is kind of my general storage here, right? Instead of going back into my base every time, I'm trying to eliminate my need to go back into that base over and over again. Because you got to run all the way back in there. I feel it's just easier to build stuff up here. Oh, I got to take my stuff out. Sort. Again, I'll try to reduce all of the stuff that we're using. We got iron. We got all sorts of stuff to convert. We got biomass, so let's just put that in there. There we go. And once again, crafting workbench. Let's just put it right there. And now we're now we're being more effective with our space. We're getting more consolidated to where I'm probably going to keep it like that for a little while and then tear the whole thing down and do it again. I'm at the 2-hour mark. All right, if you're watching this in the future, everybody, I'm going to cut the video here. We're going to go into the next section where we automate copper and more iron and more basic resources in just a moment. So watch for that video. If you're watching this in the future on YouTube, hello from everybody from the past. Make sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, and drop Wrath of Wall's name in the comments down below so I know you made it all the way in this video. Watch the next one. We're going to have even more fun in a second. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.